Hey guys, Doctor McFarland here. It is a Tuesday night. I was a little busy today, so I didn't get to do my Talk About Gear live stream, but I'm going to do a catch up event for the Headrush stuff. So I got the Headrush Prime right here. Let's get some light going here, shall we? I got the Superman shirt. And I got the cool headphones with the built-in microphone, and it makes it easy so I can just literally move around and not have to be stuck with like a mic in my face or stuff like that. So, what am I gonna do? So the name of this stream is called Tele, and I've gone back and forth, but I've decided that this guitar right here, the red Kiesel of Love, not to be confused with the white coily cable of love from Gearman Dude. We're going to make some rigs based on this guitar because it's a great guitar, and once again, it's red. And also it has Seymour Duncan Antiquity pickups. Now, if you go buy your typical Fender guitar, it's going to have Fender style, Fender pickups in there. If you watch or listen to Brad Paisley, he's more than likely going to have his own Seymour Duncan, whatever signature pickups in there. I mean, Teletones are really based on the bridge pickup, which is a very bright sound. Most of the time it is in a ashtray style, construction right here. What's going on? Let me get this out. And then the sound that everybody mostly lives on is really the neck pickup. There's something about this neck pickup that just people love. And even though the Prime is right here, I'm actually going to be adjusting things on the screen. So let me get over to the head and browser scene that I have going on here. And I'm also going to do this real fast. Let me go back. I have a new Discord server, okay? I've actually had it since May. I just haven't really utilized it a whole lot. But what I'm going to do is go over to my live thing here, and I'm going to click share, and I'm going to go to the Discord server and go to talk about videos. I'm going to post this live stream right here. Okay, so whether you're on Discord or Facebook or whatever else, YouTube, I mean, obviously if you're watching, you're on YouTube, but I've decided this week I'm not deleting my accounts, but I've deleted the Facebook and the Instagram app off of my phone. Just too much going on, and I'm sure you do this as well as I do. But you get on your phone, you get on an app, you just start scrolling, and you just literally waste your life away doing nothing, other than liking cat videos or something. So, with all that said, I do like Discord. It is a centralized place of either whether you follow me or you just like talking about gear in general. So I do have, let me bring this up so you can see what I'm doing. So the head and browser here. So here's my Discord. So I have a general location, but then there's talk about amps, talk about pedals, talk about pedal boards, talk about digital maulers, talk about recording, talk about guitars. I talk about videos, which is where I put the link down here, and then talk about music theory. So I have somewhere, I'll put a link in the description, and if I can, see if I can do this real fast. Baby uploads, default uploads, gear list. Okay, so here's my Discord server. So I'm going to copy this and then post it in the comment section down below. And if you want to go click on that and then join my server, It's just a place where you can pop in throughout the day and say hi to other people who may be, checking things out. And yes, I'm turning on monetization and all this stuff. So anyway, as you can see, if you have, regardless if you have a mobile phone or an iPad or a computer of some sort, you can access the local editor for your Headrush. As long as it's a Prime or a Core or a Flex Prime. Okay, so the address for this big Prime unit here is headrushprime.local, and that gives you a screen like this. Okay. Now, me personally, this is not as glamorous or as the best user experience versus what the Toastmaster Pro provides, or even what the Fractal FM9 provides. But it is something that you could have on an iPad or a phone. Probably the phone might be a little bit too small, but an iPad is a decent size where you can go in and you can move things around without having to bend over on stage or in their studio or practice space and adjust things on the screen. Okay, so that's just one of the things that you got to deal with, and that's the way it goes. So what I like to do to start building rigs on the Headrush is I know I'm going to have effects before the amp and effects after the amp. So therefore, I just go ahead and put an amp on the first block on the second row. Okay, we are going to go ahead and just do a Headrush amp, and there are lots of amp options in here. But if you're a Tele player, then I want you to let me know what kind of amp that you would play the Tele with. Let's have this be very user guided tonight. Okay, so if you're picking up a Tele, what kind of amp do you think you'd want to play this through? And let me know down in the comments. Also, if you're watching, let me know your name and where you're from, especially if you haven't been watching before. And then maybe it's your first time here on the channel, and you're like, who's this Doctor McFarland guy? Is he really a doctor? Can he do brain surgery? Can he give my wife some medicine so she's not so crazy? You know, all the stuff that people ask, right? Or your husband, I guess, if you're a female watching. I don't want to assume anything, but whatever. So, let me know in the comments what amp, and you can give me a full signal chain if you want, but what amp, cab, pedals, whether that's drive, compression, phase, flange, rotary, chorus, tremolo, delay, reverb, all the stuff. This is all about audience participation. Otherwise, I'm just gonna keep going. Okay, but I need someone to chime in. Okay. So in order to add anything, because you see we got a blank slate here, you literally just click on a block. So whether you use your finger and you touch the screen, or you use the mouse. Okay. So when you choose Headrush amp, we have all these different amps over here. And they're technically amp presets, which is what the name. Okay, but we have a angled Powerball. We have a Tangerine 30, which is 80-30. A 5150, which is what I did last month, or technically the month of July, because I'm a month behind at this point. We have a Bogner. We have a MS-30. We have a Mezza Boogie tread plate, modern, raw, and vintage. So the little toggle switch that you get on those amps that gives you the 3 different flavors of that dual rec. Then you have the Sodano, Clean Crunch Drive, and Extended Range, which the extended range is very beefy, and it sounds great. Okay. And then we have an M2 lead, or M2 lead and the M2 lead cap mod. So that's your Mark II or Mezza Boogie Mark II amps. And then the cap mod just makes it a little less gain. Then we have like a little bass amp thing. Then we have a lead 800. technically like a JCM type thing. A blue line scoop. We got a plexiglass, which is a Marshall. Okay, a bunch of Marshall stuff. We got some Vox options. The Black Duo, which is your blackface Fender Twin reverb. This is actually pretty good. Let's start off with that. Since nobody's chiming in, I'll take it upon myself. So we got a Black Panel Duo. So here's a 2x12. So we got the head, and we have the matching cab that go together here. Okay. Now clicking on the amp, we have middle volume. We have treble, middle, bass, and then volume, intensity, speed, vibrato on and off. That vibrato can be either in sync or it can be just in hertz, which is what they choose to dial that in with. Then the output level, which is a very brand new option, just added in the latest firmware, is something that actually allows you to get the tone of the amp you want, and then you can adjust your overall volume after the fact, which is great when you're adding multiple amps in the same rig, i.e. preset. But Headrush calls these rigs. And so far, I mean, you can just see, like, this is not rocket science. I'm literally just adding an amp and a cab. Now, let's go ahead and play the bridge pickup here. Okay. And I am going to make sure that these are even. I'm going to turn up my volume a little bit. So I'm hitting the, I'm running everything through a Yamaha TF5, which is just a big digital mixing board. And that's actually a little loud in my ears. That's not too bad. It's not too bad. Okay, so that's the bridge pickup. Here's the neck pickup. Okay, now that's everything at 12 o'clock. Nothing's been adjusted or anything. So let's go to the cab now. We can see we have an axis or off axis. So it's like taking your mic. Let's get this. So we got the mic here. We can either have it off axis or on axis, right? So that 45-degree angle. There is a breakup option, which really does more if you really crank the amplifier a little bit. But it kind of gives a sense of like the speaker breaking up. We have all these microphone options. We have Dyne 7, Dyne 57. So a Dyne 7 is your SM57B, or SM7B, sorry. Then we have a SM57. A Sennheiser 409, Sennheiser MD421, a Neumann 67, an 87, an AKG 414, and then the Ribbon 121. Okay, I'm actually going to choose the Ribbon because this is going to give me a nice and warm sound. Okay, sounds good so far. So, at this point, I more than likely will add a reverb at the very end of the chain. Okay. I'm going to add a classic spring reverb, and we'll make it kind of a large. Okay, something like that. Now, you can adjust the decay. You can adjust the tone. We'll go ahead and do that. We'll bring it down to about 8K or so. You can adjust the mix, overall mix of the reverb. So if it's all the way down, guess what? You don't hear anything because the mix is down. So that means if we turn it back up, here's all the way 100%. Okay, now we have 0 dry signal and we have only wet signal. Okay, and somewhere in between is probably a good option. So here's 50%. Okay, or we can bring it down to like 20%. Okay, so it really depends on when you pick up this Tele. You kind of think in your head is like, all right, am I going for like classic country? Am I going for like a pop rock thing? You know, so that will determine the level of effects and how hard you hit the amp, what kind of overdrives you're going to use, you know, all that stuff. So. Now, I've chosen to keep this guitar because, one, it's beautiful, and, you know, you're just not going to find another guitar just like this. But also, I have a Lyra, a Kiesel Lyra, that is blue, and it also has the painted headstock. So it's kind of neat having an all-blue guitar and an all-red guitar. You know, because guitars are like ties, right? They're kind of a fashion accessory sometimes, if you will. Now, we can adjust the width of this, so it should be in your headphones, if you're listening through headphones. So I hear the width of the reverb kind of being dispersed evenly. And that actually sounds really nice. Okay, you can turn the diffusion on and off. Okay, cool. Diffusion back on. And you can adjust the decay. So I'm kind of just going slowly through these effects and building one by one so you can kind of hear. Sounds nice, right? It's a little Pat Martino line that you can memorize. So, very, very simple. And for all intents and purposes here, I mean, if you have an amp and a cab and a reverb, that could just literally be one combo amp, because those are all the things that show up in an amp, right? Now, we also have the speed and vibrato on the amp itself. So what I can do here is go to, actually, what can I do? What do I want to do? I'm going to go to a sign, and I'm going to go to a switch, and I'm going to go to the amp, go to vibrato, and now I can turn that on. Okay, so you're not going to see it on the screen, but I have one of the switches right here that now turns into that nice lush vibrato. You can actually see the thing on the screen move, going from on to off, on. Okay, so maybe adjust the intensity a little bit. Maybe bring the speed up just a tad. Okay, something like that. So, right now on the actual foot switches, I have the amp, the cab, the spring reverb, and the vibrato. I'm not going to have the amp and cab on a switch because that just doesn't make a lot of sense. But I could have the amp be like a switcher, actually. So if we go to assign, and let's say I want this to be, there's something here that I can use, I think. We do have MIDI out now, which is cool. You can, I haven't done any videos with MIDI yet, but I will definitely be doing something. Signal chain. So path A to B, doubling A to B. Okay, so path mix or path doubling or both. Okay, so let's see here. I would actually need to add another amp. So check this out. I'm going to go to double. And we're going to do the switch doubling, which offers to switch between two amps and cabs. Okay. So now I have the option to have my very, very clean sound. Then I'm going to go here and let's choose another model. And let's go with a Marshall. Let's go with a J45 Marshall. That's just a good classic option here. So. Okay, a little bit louder, as you can hear. You can see that on the screen, since I've assigned that switch to the switch paths, so it's a really cool way to have like an A/B option without actually having to make a scene, which is awesome. Okay, I like that a lot. Okay, so let's dial in this Marshall here. So first of all, I'm going to bring the volume down about like 8 dB, okay? Because I like the sound, I like the tone, but I don't want it to be as loud. Okay, I can also go to my bridge pickup. Okay, let's go with the normal volume cranked. Let's bring down this output volume all the way down to 18 dB. Okay, a little too soft. Bringing it back up to maybe like 12 or so. Okay, switching back to my Fender. Okay, so it's definitely on the bright side, and we can bring the volume, which is the actual volume knob that you would see on the amp, right? Because these Fender Twins don't have a master volume on them. They just have a single volume, and the more you turn them up, the louder they get. So. Cool. I'm going to bring down my headphone level. All right, now, let's switch between these two amps a little bit. Okay, so that amp is clearly not as loud. We'll bring this back up. All right, now, when we start talking about gain staging, bring that back up a little bit. You kind of need to do this in context of the rig output, which you cannot see on the screen, which is kind of nuts. I wish you could. But what I'm going to do is actually tap on the output block, and I'm going to look at the output right here. Okay, so a few options here. Talking about gain staging, right? So if I want to hit just below this zero mark on my screen, I'm going to need to either do one of a few things. I'm going to go back to my output level. I'm just going to turn it back up to 0. Let's see where that gets us. Okay, definitely a lot closer. Let's go back to the Fender amp now. Okay, and I'm actually going to turn up the Fender volume a little bit more. Okay, so in that 70% range. Because you can get this is a very high headroom amp, so you can really crank the volume without actually getting any breakup. Okay, I'm going to turn the bright off because it's a little too bright. Okay, not too bad. And now, I need to really test the gain stage between these two amps. Okay, not bad. Let's actually turn down the bass a little bit. And we can turn down the volume just a bit. volume's going back up. All right, now with all that said, I think I've balanced the amp a little bit better. Clicking on the output again, I'm going to now go to my rig volume. I'm going to bring up the rig volume about 3 dB or so. Okay. All right, cool. I'm liking that. Let's go to our compressor. And we have some good options in here. Let's just try the presser. See what this does. Turn the gain down. Now this is true single coil pickup, so I'm a little close to other electrical things here, but okay. So you hear there's a good amount of compression going on. Check 1, check 2, check 2, check 2. Make sure you can hear me, okay? Cool. I like it. And going back to the Marshall amp. This is the neck pickup. All right, now let's go to the middle position so we get rid of some of that squeal. Now, all right, so now we've technically set up your basic amp sound with 2 different gain levels, one from a clean Fender and the other from a dirty Marshall. We have a spring reverb and we have a compressor. Now, we are going to add an overdrive, and there are lots and lots of options, all kinds of options. We have a Klon. We have a few different tube screamers. We have a Morning Glory. We have a 250 drive. We have a Boss BD2, which is a blues driver. And we have 2 different anxiety overdrives because they just couldn't figure out how to get it right, so they just made 2 of them. I mean, this sounds good. The anxiety overdrive sounds good. It's just they could have done better. I'm going to go to this now, and let's bring the gain down, bring the tone down, bring the level up. Okay, so here's the Boss BD2. Pretty good, right? We got plenty of gain going on in here. Let's keep it around the middle. Okay, for my Fender amp, I'm going to bring down the treble just a little bit more. Okay, let's smooth this thing out just a bit. Okay, BD2 is now off. Now, I want to say that a tuner has been added on the screen, and it has. So let's tune this thing a little bit. I had my air off earlier, and it's It's a little hot up here. It's not too bad. Okay. The range was set for bass. Let's make that for guitar. It's probably going to be a little bit better. Okay. There we go. So we are tuned. We have a Boss Blues driver in there. Okay, so now we have a few gain stage options we can choose from. We can have the clean Fender amp with a blues driver turned on. Okay, or we can go to the Marshall amp. I'm also going to go to the Marshall and turn down the treble just a little bit. There is also a presence on there. I'm going to turn down the presence. All right, going to the middle pickup. Okay, neck pickup. All right, so very cool. Back to the Marshall, we can turn on the vibrato. All right, pretty good. Pretty good. Let's add one more gain pedal here. We're going to add an overdrive. And we're going to do the, let's do the greener option here. Okay, usually the drive is all the way down. The tone is in the middle and the level is all the way up. So this is going to really push the front end of the amp. I got the volume up. Okay. Turn that off. Turn it on. It's also adding a lot more volume in this particular amp because it's just so clean. If I put it in front of the Marshall, here it is without the greener. And then with it on. Man, take that, Jeff Bridges. Okay, I have no idea. Mix. I'm going to turn the mix down just a little bit more. Turn the tone down a little bit on that reverb. And this is kind of neat. So check this out. As you're switching between amps, if you want to go from a dirty sound directly to a clean with vibrato, you can actually go ahead and turn the vibrato on first, and then switch to the amp. You're back on your vibrato sound. Or while you're on that, you can just turn it off. And so forth. And then go back to your dirty amp. And then maybe turn on a greener. Or you can go back to your clean amp and go to the BD2 drive. And while being on the BD2 drive, you can also turn on the greener. Yay for pentatonic scales. All right, so at this point, I'm flushing out a very simple pedal board, okay? If you could see a physical tuner, then you would definitely have it on there. And we are now going to let's add a delay, okay? We got a BBD delay. We have a grain delay, which is fairly new. Pitch delay, multi-delay, reso delay, reverse delay, tape echo. I'm fine with the dyne delay myself, actually. Let's go with a stereo muffled type sound. Okay, so what we're doing here, there's a low cut option. There's a high cut option, which they've cut out all the highs in this. So I'm going to bring that back up just a little bit for. Okay, make sure the delays or the tails are on. And then for my ratio, I'm actually going to have it back at 0%. Okay, the mix is up really high, but I'm going to bring the ratio actually to 50% now. Okay, we'll bring the mix down a little bit. And all right, now that's pretty good. Not too bad. We're gonna go save it because that's always nice. We're gonna do Teletones OG 25. Bam. Okay. Now go to our signs here, and I do not want the cab. I don't want the spring reverb in there as well. So I'm gonna go here. Let's just move these down. And the vibrato can stay on the end, or it can go up where the delay is. So we got changing of the amps. We have the green overdrive, which actually let's change that color to actual green. Does that do anything? Yeah, it kind of does. Actually, it actually doesn't. This just changes the like the color of the preset itself. But signal chain, greener, BD2, delay, Spring reverb can stay up there. We really don't need the cabs. We'll unassign that. We don't, yeah, the amp vibe is there. The compressor's there. So this leaves us one slot that we could add something. So maybe we can add a, well, we could do this. I don't have the board on the floor right now, but we could definitely add some little wall action. Let's do a Buddha wall, which is cool. Okay. What happened here? Wall filter, Buddha wall, default. There we go. Okay. Now, within the Buddha wall, within the boudoir, you can go in and you can adjust the EQ a little bit if you want, right? You can turn that down maybe, so it's okay. Eventually, I'll put this on the floor and I'll just play around with it, maybe in a separate video. But for now, that's pretty good. You can bypass that with the toe. See, by just pushing on the toe like that. Now, I would love if Headrush actually added an auto engage option. That has been an 8-year request on my part, and I'm sure others have requested it as well, but it's just one of those things. It's like, come on, guys. Every other modeler has it, and you are slowly adding things, but it's been crazy. So we're gonna do a C2 chorus, just a really classic chorus here. Let's go to middle position. Let's turn off the drive. Turn down the rate a little bit. Turn the depth up. Okay, pretty good. I'm hearing the little bit too much delay mix, so let's turn that down. Okay, it's pretty good. Save it. Now let's talk about a few things here on the Headrush. I've been a Headrush guy for a very long time. And I got a few more watchers here. If you want to tell me your name and where you're from in the chat, that'd be great. It's kind of nice knowing who I'm actually talking to instead of just talking to nobody and being lonely. Let's go ahead and check out the Discord server. No one's on my Discord. If you want to join my Discord, I have a link down in the comments or over in the chat area. So be sure to click on that link and join my Discord. And it's just... especially my way of replacing Facebook at this point. I mean, I'm just done with Facebook and Instagram. I'm not closing my account anytime soon, but it's great being able to hop on to the Discord. I'm also in the Toemaster Pro group over here, so you can see amp model suggestions, amp effect model suggestions, general text type stuff. So anyway, yeah. So I have my own Doctor McFarland Studios Discord. And if you want to hop on any of the text channels and just start chatting it up with me, asking questions, saying hi to anybody else who has joined, you can do stuff like that. And let's see what this inbox says up here. Nice. Okay. So those are in the Toastmaster Pro thing options here. Okay. Yeah, Toastmaster Pro. So there's that. All right, Headrush Prime. What I wish you could kind of do. Now if I hold down the mode switch here, you can see I can choose between stomp, rig, hybrid, set list, and song. Also have mic dry on and off, metronome, which is that kind of thing. So this is kind of neat. Check this out. So you can kind of practice some things. I messed up. I need to practice, right? All right, so there's that. So on the Fractal FM9, which is probably it's not the best unit, but it is the one that gives you the absolute most flexibility. Because what I've done is I've adjusted, I've created my own layout on the Fractal FM9 to where it gives you an option to literally make any of the switches be anything you want. So I can make it be a scene select. I can make it be an effect on and off. I can make it be a different layout, go to a totally different layout. Tap tempo, tuner, like where do you want everything? Like you can just make it your own layout. And what I wish you could do on the Headrush is it'd be really awesome to be like, all right, I like more like the individual pedal board. Why is it disconnected? Oh, come on. I like the individual pedal board option. Just seeing the stomps. But then I kind of wish you could go in and see maybe all your scenes laid out, right? So one thing you can do if you're in rig view, okay? Right now, you can't see this, but in rig view, I have my Teletones rig right here. So if I long press that, it actually goes into my stomp view here, which I know you can't see, okay? Then when I press exit, I can go choose another rig and then long press that. And then you can see on the screen, it switched to the Guitar 6505 Fat Drive, which I can play that real fast. Okay. So that is one workaround of not having scenes available as well as stomps. Now you can mix and match, but it's just not the same. It's just not the same. It doesn't give you all the flexibility of let me just long press on that. So right now, as you can see on the screen, I have the signal chain, the greener, the B2 drive, the delay, my vibrato, my delay, my boudoir, and my compressor. Okay. Now, instead of boudoir, I probably want my chorus to show up there. And I don't know why I'm burping. I'm sorry. That is very rude. All right, so now I have my chorus on and off. You can see that turn off and off on the screen there. Okay, then I got my spring, I got my vibrato, which I love vibrato. Okay, turn that off. Okay, pretty cool stuff. What's great about having different gain stages like this is, like last night I was recording a song and I had my amp channel AB on the Fractal. Then I had actually 4 different drives I could switch between, which is kind of neat. Now, let's see what I can do. You can't do that on the drive pedals, but you can do that on the amps. So you can have the amp double switch there going on. So right now I could technically have 4 different amplifiers to choose between if I wanted to, or probably even more actually if I wanted to. But I think 2 for now is more than sufficient for what I want to do. And then you just switch over to the Marshall amp. Let's go to the greener pedal, and let's ease up just a bit on that volume, or on the level of the pedal. I don't want it to break up as much as it's doing, but the drive is down, so it's, you know, it's doing something. So boy. And then BD2. All right, so that's actually the Marshall amp with the BD2 drive in front of it. So, or B2 drive in front of it. So all kinds of gain stage layering and stacking and whatever you want to do. So 2 people. Okay, I got 7 minutes left in this stream. We got 2 people watching. I need to know who you are. Come on. Let me know your name, where you're from. Do you have a Tele? Which Headrush do you have? All the things. Have you clicked on my Discord server link yet? Are you going to join me on Discord? And join the chat over there, because it's fun. There's also like a hangout button, which I haven't tried yet, but I can try something like that maybe after this. After this stream, I will hop onto Discord. Now that I can turn on a video camera. So here's my MX Brio. And there I am. Oh, hey, there I am. So pretty cool, right? So as I go into the Discord and hang out, you can join me over there. I can share my screen. You can start an activity, open soundboard. I don't even know what that means, but I'm going to disconnect it for now. Okay. So that's always an option. To go hang out on the Discord and do stuff like that. So instead of being on YouTube or Facebook or something. So I'm pretty impressed with these pickups here. That's just super smooth, guys. Sounds really good. Here's the middle position. go. All right, Francis, you are the big winner, my friend. You are the first person to comment in the chat out of all the people who are just hanging out, not telling me who they are. I'm doing good. It's a little hot up here, but if you can and you're willing and you're able and you want to, click on the Discord link in the chat there, and you can join my Discord server, which is right over here. There's general text channels. My buddy Landon's in there, which is cool. We can talk about recording. We can talk about guitars, videos, pedal boards, pedals, amps, digital maulers. We can talk about music theory. If you have a question about like triads or some substitution chords or whatever, we can also do a option as well. So I can go live in Discord, as we are in one accord on Discord, right? So just to review, we have a compressor. Here's the compressor off. Then back on. Okay, so the compressor is adding a little bit of beefiness, a little bit of volume, a little squishiness going on. Now, one other request. So I really only have like maybe 2 or 3 requests at this point. The first one is auto engage for wah and whammy type effects. So I got some of them on my nose. And then the other one is a mix or blend volume, probably like a mix control on all compressors. Okay, that would be really ideal. So you can really go in and squash your sound with the gain and sensitivity. And then you can just kind of blend in some of that natural dry sound back into the signal, and you get the best of both worlds of giving that nice squishy compressor sound with the natural dynamics of your uncompressed sound blended in. Right, stuff like that. So I got a PayPal notification. Why do I have a PayPal notification? What did I do this time? Hey, somebody bought something. That's great. So with that said, go to my website. What is my website? It is Doctor McFarland. Hey. DrMcFarlandStudios.com. I have Anatomy and Music, where you can learn all about music theory. I have 52 backing tracks, 1 track per week of the year that you can. That is volume 1, by the way. I'll probably do a volume 2 within the next year or so. I do more jazzy, metal, country type stuff. I have all the digital maulers, or at least most of them. There are rigs and preset downloads for Headrush, Helix, Toolmaster Pro, Fractal, Boss, GT1000, Kemper rigs. Then I do have the Headrush products, so HTS rigs, which is what you're watching right now. If you want to be able to download this rig and all previous and future rigs, then pay your one-time $30 fee as a thank you for all my hard work over the years. And you get a great resource in return, as in downloads, for all the rigs that I build on these Prime and Legacy units. There is also Headrush clones, which I'll be doing more here pretty soon. I got to free up some time here. Headrush tone sculpting, which is when I go through every amp, cab, microphone, dirt pedal, modulation, delay, and reverb effect. And I explain what they are in doctor's terms. And then also have some editing audio in Reaper and getting started in Reaper. And I actually had a guy buy the editing audio in Reaper course, and he got 2 videos in. And he was like, this is actually, I was wanting more of like a mixing tutorial, which this product really just goes into how to edit audio, whether you're doing drums, bass, guitars, vocals, all the stuff. But with that said, and upon his request, I will be adding a mixing tutorial, probably like a 10 video series or so, maybe 10 to 15 videos showing how to mix a song in Reaper. Okay. And I can do that because even though I technically work for Harrison Audio and I use Mixbus every single day for everything I do, the basic concepts still apply when you're editing and mixing audio in any DAW. Okay, that's why I can use a Headrush and a Fractal and a ToneMaster Pro and a Helix Floor and a Boss GT1000 and a Kemper Profiler and just all the different modelers, because literally the basics, the nuts and bolts of how audio works just doesn't stop because you go and change your gear. Okay. It literally just doesn't stop. 2 amps or solid state amps is still an amp, right? You still have an input. You probably have an effects loop with the send and return. So if you want to set up like a 4 cable method option to send dirt pedals to the front and then your wet effects to the power amp section, that's a good 4 cable method option for those who want a nice clean delay and reverb sound, but maybe going into like an overdrive or distortion channel on an amp. Just basic concepts like that you can apply to real world situations and then apply it to whatever modeler of choice that you currently have, whether that is a Headrush or a Fractal or a ToneMaster Pro or a Quad Cortex or a Kemper or a Helix Floor, or maybe the new Helix Stadium or the Stadium XL or just any other modeler out there. It literally doesn't matter. The core basic concepts of how to build a rig, how to, what pedal order do they all come in, and all the things just doesn't apply. Okay. The Padded Pedal Room is now in my Discord. Let's go check it out. All right. Who do we have here? Anybody? Show the member list. We got Francis. There's Francis. What's up, man? You are now in the club. I guess. You're in the club. Very cool. I'm a little hazy right here. I'm not sure why I'm hazy. Why am I hazy? Purple hazy. Let's go here. Oh, let's looking at a different one. Studio light. Reactions. No, I don't want reactions. How about background? Whoa. Background is cool, man. That is so neat. We're going to go here and we're going to put me in a mall. How about that? We can also go here. My guitar is disappearing. What's happening? I'm in a rainbow. Nice. All right, so Francis, your duty now is to go to my Discord and post a picture of your guitar in the Talk About Guitars section. Okay? That'll be fun. Go show off what you got going on over there. Okay? And actually, I can use Discord as well to, if you want to leave comments or questions about the current video that I'm on, you can just leave them there, and I can also check the Discord for any questions or things that I can answer live in a video. Okay, I'm gonna switch this out. sure what's going on here. What is going on? This is ridiculous. Huh? Yeah. Let's go in the trees. So what's great about this rig is it's really allowing the pickups to shine through and not do a bunch of like crazy stuff. You don't have to be crazy. We don't have to be crazy if we don't want to. And yeah, kinds of things here. I really need to have a secondary webcam going on. So if I want to go, what can I do here? If I want to go to the Logitech, no, that's not what I want. I can't do it right now. Thought I had a Logitech, something in here. I'm looking. I don't have it. It's fine. It's fine. You'll give it a go. Sweet. All right, guys, I'm getting hot. I need to look at another song for a paying client. I don't want to keep them waiting. So I am Doctor McFarland. It's been fun. I will load up this rig on my website, drmcfarlandstudios.com, in the HTS rigs course, and you can go download it for your Prime, Core, Flex Prime, or Legacy unit, such as the pedal board, the gig board, or the MX5. Okay? So y'all have fun. And whatever the older units do not have, I'll make sure I just choose an appropriate option there. And we'll just enjoy the work. So check it out. It worked. Nice. Okay, we're gonna go to guitar. Let's look at some guitars here. Actually, it showed up as a HEIC. Oh no, is it gonna work? Is it gonna work? No, it ain't working. Yeah, HEICs don't really work all that great. You need to take a screenshot of those, and then maybe I can download them. What happens if I download it? Ah, there we go. All right, you got one with dog ears. That's cool. I'm not sure how I can change what I'm looking at here. There we go. Something like that. So there's the new guitar. Cool. It looks great. It's a nice color. Very nice color. I'm still trying to sell my T484, whatever you want to call it. The guitar market's very slow. Very slow. Very slow. Okay. All right, guys. Appreciate everyone for hanging out and just being there for me, man. You're there for me. I know it's a little late tonight. It's probably not the best time. There's probably more people asleep than awake at this point. Yeah, T60 LTD. Awesome. All right, I'm going to go do some work in the studio. I'll be on the Discord if you want to hop in and chat there for a little bit. And we'll just have some fun. And we'll see you the rest of this week, okay? Have a good night.